Hey, how's it going? Jamal Dirksen back with part 3 of this 7-part series. Success Around the Corner Prospecting. Who, where, and how. Should you lead with your product or opportunity? Certain companies have product lines that lend themselves more easily to building with a product first approach. This technique typically focuses first on establishing an extensive retail customer base. From among the hundreds of satisfied customers you develop, a number of business builders will emerge. The advantage to this approach is that individuals leading with the product will typically generate a cash flow more quickly by creating a customer base. The disadvantage is that this is typically a much slower approach to building significant wealth than leading with the opportunity. So what this means is, you may, if you lead with the product first, you may make some good upfront money, but it may take longer to build that residual income. So make sure you keep that in mind. Me personally, I prefer to target people interested in earning a life-impacting income. These people are usually more motivated to treat their network marketing business seriously and more willing to pursue an aggressive action plan in search of other business builders. Create a notification names list. To create the most extensive list possible, use a few memory joggers. Dig out your address book, holiday cards, business associates, social club, church, school group lists, or any other names you may can muster. Think in terms of your friends, neighbors, relatives, and ask yourself, whom do they know? List all the merchants and professionals with whom you do business and expand upon your list by thinking of everyone related to each one. Once you've created your list, you'll be in a great position to start notifying your prospects about your new business while asking them to think about whom they know who may be interested in earning the extra income. So how many leaders will you need to identify, champion, and develop? In this example, we're going to use an example of you just bringing on 4 leaders. So you identify 4 leaders who identify 4 leaders each, or 16 leaders who identify 4 leaders each, or 64 leaders who identify 4, or 256 leaders who identify 4, or 1,024 leaders. Adding 4 plus 16 plus 64 plus 256 plus 1,024 gives us 1,300 leaders through 5 levels in your organization. So we got this number by you just bringing on 4 leaders and duplicating yourself to them, and they going out and doing the same thing down for 5 levels. Now let's assume that your company necessitates a minimum monthly sales or purchase requirement of $100 per distributor in order to qualify for a monthly commission check. Let's also assume that your company compensation plan pays out on an average 10% per level on the total sales volume generated. Based upon these assumptions, in this model, we would have 1,300 people times $100 per month times 10% commission earned on their total volume, equaling $13,000 per month in residual income. So if you develop 4 leaders who develop 4 leaders who develop 4 leaders and so on, you will earn $13,000 per month. Therefore, in this example, if we desire to earn $13,000 per month in residual income, we would need to initially focus upon the goal of attracting, training, coaching, and championing at least 4 leaders who agree to take on the same goal and do so on down for 5 levels. So how many prospecting conversations are enough to identify your first 4 leaders? In a typical poker deck of cards, there are 52 cards and 4 aces. If you were to shuffle the deck and turn over one card after another, you would reveal a sequence of cards ranging from the low of 2 to the high of an ace. If you interpret each card flipped over to represent the level of interest and commitment of the prospect and whom you'll be speaking to, a 2, 3, 4, or 5 would represent prospects who are really not at all interested in your offer. A 6, 7, 8, or 9 might represent a product customer or one who has a mild interest in exploring the possibility of building a business. A 10, Jack, Queen, or King might represent a person who has some level of desire to build a network marketing business but has only limited focus or success. Perhaps they'll enroll some customers or an occasional distributor. An ace would represent someone who is committed to building a business, is open to coaching, and is in a regular, consistent, and persistent level of action. If we assume the number that corresponds to this analogy, we know that if we speak to 52 people, there should be 4 aces who will show up and agree to build a business. So how many prospecting conversations are enough to identify your first 4 leaders? Another factor that will influence your success ratios will be your diligence in following up with your prospect in a timely manner. Many of your leaders will come in on your 4th, 7th, or even 10th follow-up conversation. The goal really is in the follow-up. Successful follow-up conversations will result in many interested prospects showing up who would have been missed with just casual contact. The diligence with which you conduct your follow-up conversations will show your prospects how serious you are about making your business work. For other prospects, the timing of your offering just won't fit into their lives at the time. If you commit to dripping on all your prospects on a regular basis, you'll be certain to be there at the right time for some of their life-changing situations, and they will be open to exploring your income opportunity. So don't just give up. If they don't come on board that first, second, third time, don't give up. It takes to keep following up with them, because you never know what might be going on in their life. They might have hit the lotto and have plenty of money at one point in time, and then you follow up with them a little later and they done blew their money, and they're really in need of making some money, so they'll listen to your opportunity more seriously. Make a regular daily action commitment. The best way to ensure considerable numbers of enrollments is to commit to a consistent and persistent plan. Commit to a minimum number of quality conversations, which will involve presenting an income opportunity to your prospects. I have focused upon how to identify and build leaders, not sales volume. Your organizational volume will naturally grow as you identify and champion leaders to achieve their own level of success. In addition to a warm market list, there are many other sources of prospects one might focus upon to fuel business growth. So remember that it's very important to be able to duplicate yourself to your downline so they can duplicate their self to their downline, and that's how you grow a successful business. Cold calling approaches, in person and by phone. Productive cold calls target business prospects whose customers may have a need for your product or services. When approaching business owners, it is best to be able to clearly and powerfully outline the reason for your call or contact while spelling out the benefits your company offers that may appeal to the decision maker. Like other methods of prospecting, cold calling comes down to a numbers game. If you are convinced that the prospects you decide to target will benefit from your product or opportunity, and you become adept at creating value so that they can appreciate your presentation, success will result. If you choose to take this approach, track your ratios and speak with enough people to make the numbers work. The 3-foot rule. While cold calling typically refers to approaching business owners, the 3-foot rule pertains to everyone else. This approach assumes that we meet prospects who would have an interest in joining our business every day of our lives. They can be found at the supermarket, PTA meetings, soccer games, and every other place we may go. We just we just never can tell when we might bump into our next superstar business builder. People need what our company has to offer. Furthermore, we can never prejudge who might be interested if we do not ask. The 3-foot rule assumes that it's our responsibility to build, create, an opening to explore interest in our offering everywhere we go. Those distributors who are most successful in building their business in this manner share a number of common characteristics. They are not afraid to speak with strangers. A stranger is only a friend they haven't met yet. They are masters at breaking the ice. They usually have practiced a fluid method of creating an opening with their prospects to take a look. Their pitch comes across in a natural and appropriate manner. They are always prepared with business cards, prospecting packages, audio, or any other materials. They ask questions that stimulate conversations. For example, they might say something like, "I think I've seen you here at these games before. Do you live or work in this area? Oh, great. Can I ask you what you do for a living?" They are adept at making requests that move their prospects along in the evaluation process. They might say something like, "You know you have a great personality, and I'm looking for someone just like you to expand my business here in Virginia. The position I'm looking to fill has the potential to be very lucrative for the right person. Would you be willing to just take a look at some information and watch a brief video that describes how our company works?" "Great. I have an info pack in my car. It's parked right in front. Here's my business card. Do you have one also? Do you think you'll be able to watch this video by Wednesday evening? Would it be convenient for me to call you Thursday or Friday to answer any questions you may have and further explore your interests?" "Great. Which night? Thursday or Friday? And what time range works best for you?" "I look forward to calling you then. Have a great day." Advertising for prospects. Advertising can take many different forms ranging from print media, newspaper magazines, newsletters, bulletins, flyers, billboards, posters, and mailers, to radio, television, and of course the internet. Print ads can also vary from this inexpensive small town weekly classified ad to the four color full page ad in a major national magazine or newspaper costing $50,000 or more. Traditional classified ads. And as you can see right here, I have a couple example of ads. I'm not going to actually read through the ads. I just give you time to take a look at some examples. And if you have a hard time coming up with some ads, here are some templates you can use and plug in your own information. A word of warning about internet ads. Regarding internet classified ads, there are many websites and online newsletters that offer classified advertising. Be aware that advertising on the internet is like advertising in the Wild West. I suggest avoiding free-for-all sites that many sites that offer you a free ad in return for some gimmick like viewing other free classified ads. These sites are typically a haven for spammers and scam artists. By associating with them, you will both diminish your company's credibility and set yourself up for a barrage of return spam. You also will waste a lot of precious time that could have been spent on proven ways to build your network marketing business. I've found that the most reliable place to advertise using classified ads on the internet is in the paid classified advertising sections offered by many well-respected, niche-targeted newsletters that reach tens of hundreds of thousands of subscribers who have opted in to request the receipt of that particular newsletter. Display ads. Display ads can be a very effective, though costly, means of advertising for business builders. Typically, such ads can run anywhere from $500 to $50,000 or more per insertion, depending upon the publication's circulation and prestige factor. Running these ads is only feasible when their costs and risks are shared by a number of distributors. Running a co-op ad campaign means offering an advertising share for a fraction of the cost necessary to design and place the ad. For example, if the cost of a display ad is $4,000, 16 equal ad slots, each costing $250, might be offered to the members of a success line or cross line to the members of the entire company. Such a campaign is usually coordinated by an organizational leader who then redirects all leads generated on a round-robin basis to each member taking part in the campaign. Radio ads. Successful radio ads, like all other forms of advertisements, are benefit-driven and target the exact profile of the customer or prospects you wish to attract. And as you see, I have given you an example of a type of business ad to use. You take a look at that. Pause it if you want and take a look. Flyers, ad cards, and drop packs. Flyers can be attractively typeset, inexpensively printed on colorful paper, and distributed in a variety of ways. These include placing them on car windows, under apartments, office building doorways, bulletin boards, and on telephone poles. Ad cards can be placed on payphones, bathroom stalls, and just about any other place that a flyer can be placed. Lead lists. Today, numerous lead generation companies offer lists of opportunity seekers or work-at-home prospects. These lists often come with name, mailing address, phone number, and email address. The best way to determine which type of lead is most productive for your purpose is to test a batch of each. By tracking your success ratio, you can identify if you are better off purchasing more inexpensive leads or fewer, more costly ones. For example, one inexpensive lead company I tested generated a ratio of 2 enrollments per 100 names. These leads cost $60 per 100. So the final cost to acquire distributor translated to be $30 each. I conducted another test in which I purchased $25 leads for the same cost of $100. These generated 2 new distributors as well. The difference between these 2 lists turned out to be the time I needed to call each prospect. You always want your prospect to leave thinking, this person is successful and committed to my success. He really cares about helping me to be successful. If I join him and follow the system, I will succeed. Leapfrogging. Leapfrogging is an effective technique to support your prospects in realizing that they already know a bunch of people who would be perfect for building a business. For example, I might say, who do you know whom needs some extra money? It's an entrepreneur you respect and whom you like to be in business with, is a realtor, wants to retire early, hates their job, would love to stay home with their kids instead of having put them in daycare, would love to travel more, is great with people, is in the military or retired military, is involved in sales, and so forth. Confirm for your prospect that the person they mention would likely know others who share the same common characteristic and would likely be perfect for their business. Say, if you can get them to speak with me briefly, I'll put them in your business for you. Continue in this manner until you have successfully demonstrated that it's not necessarily just the people your prospect knows, but also those individuals, those people who know who will serve their business success. Okay, well that's the end of part 4, prospecting. Jamal Dickerson. I hope you learned a lot. I will be bringing part 5 very soon, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, you all have a good day. Jamal Dickerson signing off. Talk to you next time.